Hey everybody! It's officially my kickoff for my new video series, 10 Minute Tuesday, and I am really excited to do this. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm pushing myself to do some different things in 2018 and sharing with you guys some of my knowledge on healthy habits and ways to make your life a little bit better in small changes and small ways is becoming something that I'm really excited to share with you about. So tonight I'm going to talk about sleeping, specifically sleep cycles, and how you can use them to wake up feeling refreshed and ready for your day. So I've been looking into sleep cycles for about 6 months now. Is when I first kind of heard about it and thought, hey, maybe this has something to do with why I always wake up feeling super groggy, super out of it. Because I've never been a typical morning person, and why is it so hard for me to get out of bed in the morning? So tonight I want to talk about sleep cycles, and maybe you'll pick up something that you've never heard about. Maybe it could be something that you can use in your life. So I'm going to kind of do a breakdown of what are the stages of sleeping, some ways that you can use this in your life, and a couple of recommendations that I have if you want to look into using this for your own health and your family's health. And what's great about these 10 Minute Tuesdays is that I'm going to try to be giving you guys little tidbits of information within 10 minutes or less that you can watch kind of on the go really easily. And then if something in that 10 minutes is interesting to you, I totally encourage you to go out and do your own research, dig into it deeper for yourself, because that's what I've always done. And maybe this will just spark an interest for you that could end up totally changing the way that you live on a daily basis. So sleep cycles, let's talk about those. If you've probably heard the term, there's different stages of sleep, but you might not exactly know what does that mean for you and why should you care about it. So on average, it takes people between 7 and 14 minutes to fall asleep at night. So from the time you actually lay down in bed, close your eyes, and say, okay, I'm going to sleep, on average, it'll take you 7 to 14 minutes to fall asleep. I fall asleep really easily, and my husband, James, on the other hand, he takes a little bit longer to fall asleep. So this could vary from person to person, but average 7 to 14 minutes. After that, we go through certain stages. So there's a stage 1, there's a stage 2, a stage 3, a stage 4, and back up to REM sleep. And then from there, after a few cycles, we wake up. And so the stages of sleep go from light to deep to REM. And REM sleep, R-E-M, stands for rapid eye movement, and that's the part of sleep where when you see somebody sleeping, their eyes seem to be flittering under their eyelids. They might be twitching a little bit, but they're very animated behind their eyelids because their eyes are moving so fast. Rapid eye movement. And a full stage of sleep, a full cycle, lasts around 90 minutes. And based on the total hours of sleep that you get, you could go through multiple cycles a night. So you could go through four cycles, 5 cycles, 6 cycles based on a 90-minute schedule. And what that looks like is there's the stages of sleep that you go through. So you start at top at wakefulness, you go down to stage 1, down to stage 2, down to stage 3 and 4, and then you make your way back up through the stages. And REM sleep happens actually at the top. It's a step down from wakefulness, but REM happens at the top. And then you go back down through the stages again, all the way back down to 2, 3, 4, and back up to REM for a little bit, and so on and so forth. So it looks like waves if you were to look at a chart. And at the very end, when you're going back up, you hit a REM stage, and then you actually wake up for the day. So if you're one of those people where you realize that you're waking up every day and you remember exactly everything that happened in your dreams, you must be waking up right in the middle of your REM stage, right before wakefulness. And that's okay. It doesn't mean you're getting any worse sleep. It just might not be the ideal time for you to be waking up. So sleep cycle length can vary from person to person, and it also changes based on your age. So sleep cycles are normally shorter for kids, yet they need the most hours overall, which can be tricky for new parents because you're trying to get your best sleep as well, but you're also trying to get your kids the right amount of sleep and the right quality of sleep too, so they can function really easily. But each stage in a sleep cycle has a different physiological and neurological function. And if your sleep is interrupted, or if a certain stage is missed for any reason, you could be waking up super groggy and maybe not every physiological function has been executed, and you might not be getting as much restorative properties during sleep that you could have otherwise. So for example, in deep sleep, stages 3 and 4, that's when your tissue and growth repair happens, your energy is restored, and your hormones are released. That's really important for everybody. And as the night goes on, you spend less time in the deep sleep stages and more time in REM sleep. So your last 2 cycles of sleep are actually usually contain the most REM of the whole night. And so that's why you have a lot of vivid dreaming right before you wake up in the mornings, because you're getting more REM at that point in the night. And how can this help us? Why is this information helpful to us? So by understanding our sleep cycles, we can try to plan our own bedtime and wake up time accordingly to get the right quantity of sleep and wake up at the right time for us. So we're all going to be different. Our sleep cycles are actually going to vary. 90 minutes is the average, but I could be like 100 minutes, you could be 120 minutes, somebody else could be 85 minutes. So trying to figure out what's the best stage for us to wake up at can actually help us feel refreshed and more alert when we get out of bed in the morning. And you can also use this information to help figure out a great sleeping schedule for your kids. So if they're like me, when I was growing up, I just could not get out of bed. I was so groggy. I was so out of it. It was so hard for me to get up and go to school every day. I was just kind of like wandering around like a zombie. So if we kind of start tracking maybe their sleep cycles, what's the best for them? Say it's a Saturday and they naturally wake up at a certain time, kind of do some math and figure out, okay, this is what they went to bed on Friday night, and now they woke up here on Saturday. What does that tell you about their sleeping patterns? So we can help them to function a little bit better as they go about their day. And napping is also a good way to recover if you're kind of one of those people who always loves taking a nap. I'm kind of talking about adults at this point, not necessarily kids, because their napping can be a lot different based on age. But if you're an adult napper and you just have to have your, mid-afternoon or even a morning nap or something, you'll want to make sure you're taking no longer than a 30-minute nap, because based on your sleep schedule, your sleep cycle, when you go down in the stages, you actually want to wake up before you get to the deep sleep, before you get to stages 3 and 4, because 3 and 4 is when more of those deep brain waves kick in. You're actually getting a little more relaxed and your body kind of starts to shut off a little bit more. If you're still in stages 1 or 2, it's a lot easier for you to wake up. You'll still feel refreshed while you got a little bit of restorative sleep for you. So just as an aside, that's why they call them power naps. You don't want to go too far, and if you went for a whole 90-minute cycle, that can actually throw off the rest of your day because you slept too much and you're going to just feel groggy into the evening and night. So some of my recommendations based on this, I downloaded a free app on my phone, and I'll include a picture of it in the comments on this video to show you what I use. It's really simple. It's called Sleep Timer. And what I do is when I go to bed at night, based on what time I'm going to lay down, I punch in and I say, what time should I wake up in the morning? It does all the calculations for me. It builds in 14 minutes of, going to sleep time. And then based on that, it'll calculate out 90-minute segments. So say if I went to bed at midnight tonight, I should either wake up at like 6:15 a.m. or not until 7:45 a.m. And if you're a person like me who's always running late to work, a difference of 90 minutes is humongous and could be very detrimental to your plans for the day. So I try to use that Sleep Timer app. That way my phone will ring at the exact time that I'm at the top of my sleep cycle, and I'll wake up a lot easier than if I'm way down here in 3 and 4 and I'm super out of it and groggy. So I'll put a picture of that in the comments so if you want to check that out. But there's tons of Sleep Timer apps. I just got a really free, a super cheap free one that works really well for me. It's just one single button. There's other Sleep Timer apps that are really involved, and they can actually track your body movements while you're sleeping, and they can do all these calculations based on restfulness or restlessness, and wake you up at a more exact time based on your body movements at the time. So you can check those out too, but I just really like using the Sleep Timer. Now you can also use it in reverse. So say you need to get up at a certain time in the morning and you want to plan ahead and say, okay, I need to get up at 6:15. What time should I go to bed? And it'll tell you, you should go to bed at midnight or 10:30 or 9 o'clock, and you can do it in reverse, which can be helpful for some people too, especially if you're waking up at a certain time for a reason to go about your day. Okay guys, that was it. That was my 10-minute Tuesday. And so that was the first one. Thank you for everybody who joined me. I know I'm a fast talker, so I would love to hear some comments from you guys if anybody's has questions. And I realized today this is going to be the first of many talks on sleeping because it's such an interesting topic. I can't fit everything into just 10 minutes. And so I'll do some more follow-ups as the months go on here with other areas of sleeping and how we can help you guys get more quantity of sleep and better quality of sleep at night. And so next time I'll talk to you again next Tuesday and we'll see what I come up with then. Okay, bye!